रामानुजदयावाप्तं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकम्. This is our topic. It's a beautiful topic, lively topic. It's a Vaibhavam. Anything to do with Sri Vaishnavam and Andal is always a Vaibhavam. A Vaibhavam. It's a joy. It's a joy, celebration. And the Margashiram started yesterday, and this can be more appropriate. So these are the topics we will cover. What is the significance of this month, Margashira? And then, of course, Srivilliputhur, because that's where that's the stage where all this is set, Srivilliputhur, and why it got the prominence that it got. And then, of course, Vatapatra Sai, the deity there. And then the main character, the main devotee is Andal, of course. And then the treasure that she gave us, Tiruppavai. And then what is its place among the Nalayira Divya Prabandham, the 4,000 Divya Prabandham. So the month, the town, the temple, the divine devotee, the treasure, and the 4K. What a treasure, what a treasure. It's such a celestial thing to hear this chanted. You know, when you go to this temple in Srivilliputhur, I've been there a few times, and you have these wonderful priests sitting on either side and alternately chanting this Divya Prabandham. It's indescribable. Good. Andal Tiruppavai. Brihatsama tatha samnam Gayatri chandasam aham Masanam margasirshoham Rutunam kusumakaraha. Of all the Rutus, Arjuna, I am the flower season. And I'm of all the Chandas, I am the Gayatri Chandas. And of all the Samavedas, all the Samas of the Vedas, I am the Brihat Sama. So we have it in Rudram, this Brihat Sama, the importance of Brihat Sama. So in the Chamakam it comes. Ritantra Samam and then the Brihat Samam that comes in Chamakam. So of the Samas I am Brihat Sama, but what about the months? Masanam Margasirusho Aham. And we will see why. 1 year for us is 1 day for the Devatas. So what it takes 365 days for us is just 1 day for them. So that is 24 Devata hours is equal to 365 human days. So little annotation, little acronyms I have there, that's what it is. So 24 Devata hours is equal to 365 human days. So if you divide the 365 human days by 24 Devata hours, so it's 15.2 human days. Almost 15 days for us is what is 1 Devata hour. So it's 1 hour for them is almost like 15 days for us. So now 2 hours. 2 hours for them would be 30 days for us. So 1 month for us is 2 hours for them. And what are those 2 hours? Those are the 2 early morning hours for them. So the Brahma Muhurta 2 hours for the Devatas is what is the entire month of Margashira for us. So there is absolute harmony. So when we start chanting Tiruppavai or Tiruvambavai, you are worshipping the deities along with the Devatas, because this is the time all the Devatas worship Bhagavan Vishnu as well as Bhagavan Shiv. So Shivji and Vishnuji are worshipped by the Devatas during these 2 Devata hours, which are the Brahma Muhurta hours. Strictly speaking, Brahma Muhurta is like 1.5 hours just before sunrise. But doesn't matter, you start in Brahma Muhurta and extend it a little half an hour later, so which Andal did. But Manikavasakar Swami just confined it to those exact hours. That is why you see in Tiruppavai, a lot of times many of you may wonder why Andal has 30 Tiruppavais and Manikavasagar has only 20. So this probably is why Manikavasagar was such a great saint that with his eyes closed he could give us an entire description, an astronomical description of this entire cosmos, how many galaxies are there. So that is probably where it's coming from. The 1.5 hour Brahma Muhurtam will be approximately 22 days. So he just finished the whole thing just at the end of the Brahma Muhurtam, Devata Brahma Muhurtam. So it would be a very profound, the benefits would be multifold when you worship these deities in the Margashira Masa, because now you are joining the celestials in the worship. That's one reason. And what about the beauty of Margali? This may bring you nostalgic memories for most of you from my generation. I'm in the late 60s, 67. So if you are close to my age, I remember all this so vividly in the month of Margali, starting almost around December 15th. For us, it starts in Tamil, Margali starts December 15th. We call it Dhanur Masam, but that's as per the Sauramanena, Dhanur Rasi, when sun goes into Dhanur Rasi. But Margashira, Chandramanena has already started. So this is a very nostalgic view where in front of pretty much all the houses you would have these beautiful columns, rangolis, and the center of which there would be a small handful of cow dung, fresh cow dung, on top of which would be a pumpkin flower. This is a pumpkin flower. What a sight that was, such an auspicious sight. And why that is? Well, there are many reasons, because the pumpkin flower, the yellow, is associated with auspiciousness. And the other tradition is that with the pumpkin flower that I learned, that I read about, was that in those days, long before the cell phone, if it was today, there'll be a cell phone right in the middle. But now, but in those days, no cell phone, thank God. So, in those days, placing a pumpkin in the middle of that column was kind of a little notice or an information that there is an eligible girl for marriage in that household, or an eligible bachelor in their household. So wherever you saw a pumpkin, then that was like a matrimonial advertisement. Okay, there is somebody here, then the negotiation would start and all that. But then pretty much that became obsolete, and everybody put it just because it was just lovely. To look at it, it was so lovely. So that's where that pumpkin comes from. The other thing was, there was always this little competition. You know, whose rangoli is beautiful. You always put your rangoli and then look at the neighbors and say, oh, okay, I'm happy now. Mine is bigger and prettier than the neighbor. But the problem was you have to do it within a certain time, you know, but that Brahma Muhurta time you have to do that. So you don't really know what your neighbor is planning or you are planning. So one day you win, and next day the other lady wins. So that was it. And the other thing was all these bhajans that you see in the streets on Margali. So besides that, the Margali is also known for all these wonderful festivals, because that month is completely devoted to the celestials. So there is no human vaibhavams, in the sense there is no marriages taking place in that month, because you won't have any muhurtams in Margali to get married. So it was because that entire month you were supposed to focus on worshipping the devatas and not in making arrangements for a wedding or anything. So that is another reason. And what are those festivals that you get? The Ardhra Darshanam comes in Margali. Pavai Nonbu, both Tiruppavai and Tiruvambavai comes in the month of Margali. And the most important thing is the Vaikunta Ekadashi. Vaikunta Ekadashi. If you observe that Ekadashi that one day in the year, it's equivalent to observing all the Ekadashis, that the 2 Ekadashis every month. So if you, that is one Ekadasi is equivalent to 24 Ekadasis. And besides, of course, they have the Hanuman Jayanti, and then the Shasta season, Ayyappa, Swami Saranam Ayyappa. Margali, you hear that everywhere in loudspeakers. So that is Margali. And this is the bhajan, both ladies and men. Lovely group. These are just such a wonderful, lovely scenes. Early morning Margali. And the other is that in the month of Margali, it is said that the oxygen content in the air is more. There's more percentage of intense oxygen in the air because the earth is closer to the ozone layer. So that may, and then when you come out early in the morning, singing the glories of the Lord, you get oxygenated, you get refreshed, you get rejuvenated. So these are the glories of month of Margali. And then what is the town where this is all the stage where all this is taking place? Srivilliputhur. There's a couple of stories why that place got the name that it got. Vill in Tamil means bow and arrow, like a bow. So there are a couple of stories. One is that a rishi was born as a hunter, and then he brought in more rishis in there, being, in having known that this place is a very auspicious place. So he was born as a hunter there. So that place was named after him. And there's another story. There were two hunter brothers went hunting and chasing a prey. It said this was a tiger, and it got wounded. Then it ran away, and one brother was chasing. The tiger hit and smashed him. He was dead, and the other brother was very upset, and he swooned. And then Lord Narayana came in a vision to him, and he said that my statue is here, so clear these bushes and bring the statue up and set it upright and build a small shrine. So that's another story. But whatever the story is, the definitely what it is definitely associated with a bow. So it could be there was a bowman tribe living in the place. So it's Puttur. But more than that, the best description of Srivilliputhur comes to us from the Veda Piran Bhattar. Veda Piran Bhattar was a grandson of Manavala Mamunigal. You can read upon him. Was such a great saint, Manavala Mamunigal. So he was a grandson of Manavala Mamunigal, and the best description of Srivilliputhur comes to us from him. Kodai Pirandavur. Kodai Pirandavur. See, he gives us 6 descriptions in this little song here. And there are 6 items how he describes. Number 1, Kodai Pirandavur, where Andal was born. And number 2, Govindan Valum Ur. Valum means he still is there, means present tense. He has been there before, he will be there afterwards, and he is there now. So again, Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna, there was never a time I was not there. Never will be a time I will not be there. So I am here now. So Govindan Valum. Valum means he is there. He is always there. So Valum, always he lives in that. So Govindan. And then Sodi Manimadam Tondrum Moor. Nidiyal Nalla Pattar Valum Moor, Non Maragalodum Moor, Villiputtur Veda Konur. See, the first is such a beautiful composition right here that, see, the importance of the place is not because it's a crown abode of the Vedas, which is given the last place, number 6. Not because it's a crown abode of the Vedas. Veda Konur. Kon means the king, crown. So Veda is Vedas. Of course, Ur means place, village. So Veda Konur. The Villiputtur is not important because it's the crown abode of Vedas. And also not because the 4 Vedas are chanted. Non-Maraigal 4 Vedas. Odumur, Villiputtur. Not because of that also, because that's only in the 5th in importance. And not because good devotees live there virtuously, Nidiyal Nalla Bhaktar Valumur, Not even that, because that's only fourth in importance. Even you may have great devotees who live virtuously, following all the dharmas. Not even because of that the place is important. And not because it has skyscrapers. But I have a different interpretation of that item 3, because usually everybody says, so the Manimadam Thondrumo, the literal interpretation would be that mansions of glittering gems. Sodhi means glittering, light. Money is gems, ratnas. So the Manimadam Thondrumur, where many of these Manimadams are there. That's a literal interpretation, but mine is not that. So the Manimadam, I would interpret that as Tulasi Manimadam. Most of you from the south are familiar with that. That particularly in our households, we always used to have Tulasi Madam, where we have a built-up thing for Tulasi. We have here in our temple couple, not couple, we have 4 of them. And then in there you would have a receptacle to put a lamp. There will be always a lamp. There will be always a Jyoti. So Srivilliputhur is not known because it has all these mansions, glittering mansions, because it has these little mansions of Tulasi mansions with lamps inside. That's why it's important, number 3. Chodi Manimadam Thondru, but you can take any explanation you want. And then number 2 is Govindan Valumu, where Govinda resides. That is also not number 1. Even though he is Lord Celestial Govinda, where he held the entire cosmos in his womb, Govindan, Matapatra Sai. He held the entire cosmos in his womb, inside of him, and let it out after the pralaya. So not even because of that. But why it is important? Because Andal was born there. Wow. So it's not the deity. It's the devotee who makes the deity important. It's the devotee. But for Andal, we wouldn't even know where that Villiputhur is. But for Andal, we wouldn't even know who Vatapatra Sai is. But for Andal, we wouldn't even know where this place is being, Vedas being chanted there. But for Andal, we wouldn't even know that the Palkova is the most famous items in Villiputhur. So everything is because of Andal. So that is why Vedapiran Bhattar amazingly prioritized what Villiputhur is. Kodai Pirandavur. Kodai means it's a flower garland, flowers strung together. Kodai Pirandavur. So it was Meera who brought the glory of Krishna. It was Ramakrishna Paramahamsa who brought out the glory of Kali. It was Tyagaraja and Tulsidas who brought out the glory of Ram. And it was all these devotees of Panduranga, Tukaram, Namdev, Ghora. It was them who brought the glory of Panduranga. But for these, we wouldn't know Panduranga as we do now. So the devotee is more important than the deity. But for Manika Vasagar, we wouldn't know the glory of Lord Shiva. But for Kannappa Nayanar, we wouldn't know the glory of Lord Shiva. But for Appar and Trinyana Sambandar, we wouldn't know the glory of Lord Shiva. But for all the 63 Nayanmars, but for all the 12 Alvars, we wouldn't even know the glory of Shiva and Vishnu. But for Karaikal Ammayar, we wouldn't even know the glory of Kailasha and Thiruvalangadu. But for Akka Mahadevi, we wouldn't even know the glory of Lord Shiva, even Veerasaivam. On and on I can go. So it is the devotee that brings out the glory and reveals the glory of the deity. That is why Andal is given first priority. Kodai Pirandavur. Then the deity comes. Govindan Valumur. Chodi Manimadam Tondrumur. Nidiyal Nallavathar Valumur. Nanmaragal Hodumur. Srivilliputhur Vedakonur. Periyalvar. He is the only one who is called Periyalvar. Periyalvar means the big, humongous Alvar. Why is that? Because Periyalvar gave blessings even to Lord Narayana. And you know what? Periyalvar also, Periyalvar because he became the father-in-law. He became the father-in-law, right? Of Narayana. So Lord Narayana Vishnu is his son-in-law. So he is Periyalvar. Now Alam, anyway, so Srivilliputhur is also known for him. But Periyalvar wouldn't be known but for Andal. So that is why Andal gets priority place. So Alam in Tamil means depth. So this is a little definition that I came up with in Tamil for the Alvar. Ari Aranganal Atkollapattu Anbinil Alnd Amilnd Avanadi Adainda Adiyavargal. Everything starts with Oh, what a glory. Ari Aranganal Atkollapattu Anbinil Alnd Amilnd Avanadi Adainda Adiyavargal. First, they were graced by Lord Narayana. Avan arulale avan tal vanangi. First, you have to have his grace. So, Ari Aranganal Atkollapattu. And what happened after that? They dived deep. Alam means deep. And then when they go deep, they're immersed in their Alndu, Amilndu. You're immersed in the depth of devotion, the deep depth of devotion. Hari Aranganal Atkollapattu Anbinil Amilndu, in the love of Lord Hari, Anbu, love of Lord Hari, Alndu Amilndu, immersed in the depth of devotion, then where they reached his holy feet. Avanadi Adiyavargal. That is why they are called Alvar, because Alam means depth. Anyway. So Periyalvar was also known as Vishnu Chitta Bhattar Piran, because in his consciousness he was always thinking of Lord Vishnu. Only Vishnu was predominant in his consciousness, priority. So that was his priority. Always he is thinking in sleep, dreaming, in all the four avasthas. It was always Vishnu. So Vishnu Chittar, his Chittam was always on Vishnu. That's why he was called Periyalvar. As for the time frame, supposed to have lived around the first half of the 9th century, during the times of Pandya king Nadinjadayan, Srimaran, and also Srivallabhan. Both were known as the Nedumarans. Now this is also coincides roughly with the later part of the 63-9 March time, from the 6th, 7th and 8th century. Sambandar, Uppar, Karakalamya starting with the 6th century and all, Uppar and Sambandar 7th century, and Manikavasagar the 8th and the 9th century. So roughly coincide with that time. So that was known as the Bhakti period, the Bhakti movement in South India. So this is roughly that time. And Periyalvar contributed to the philosophical and theological ideas of Sri Vaishnavism, and his compositions are called Tiruppavai and Periyalvar Tirumoli. And there's a very interesting event. It's not a story. All this is what I'm telling you. They're events, they're histories associated with the Tiruppavai, how he exploded into singing this Tiruppavai and ended up blessing Lord Narayana himself in the Tiruppavai. Pallandu pallandu pallayirattandu palagodi noorayiram mallandadindol manivanna un sevadi sevvittirukkaappu அடியோமோடும் நின்னோடும் பிரிவின்றி ஆயிரம் பல்லாண்டு வடிவாய் நின் வளர் மார்பினில் வாழ்கின்ற மங்கையும் பல்லாண்டு வடிவார் சோதி வலத்துறையும் சுடராளியும் பல்லாண்டு படைவோல் ஒக்கு முழங்கம் அப்பாஞ்ச சன்னியமும் பல்லாண்டே. This is what he broke out singing. And how did this happen? The Pandya king was a little confused because he is hearing all this conflicting philosophical theories and propositions. So he had set up a kind of a competition type of an event. He hung in his darbar what was called in Tamil pottili, which means a little bag that contains gold coins, pottili. So he hung that and said, whoever clears my philosophical confusion will get this. And Vishnu Chittar Periyalvar was not a great philosopher. He was not a greatly scholarly in the Vedas. But what he was a devotee. All that he had was predominantly in him devotion and commitment to the service of Lord Vishnu in Srivilliputhur, the Vatapatrasai, and his seva, his kainkaryam, as we call it, was to make garlands, tulasi garlands, flower garlands. So he had a nandavanam that he cultivated, worked on it all the time, made sure there were flowers all the time, there were beautiful tulasis all the time. So that was his kainkaryam. So that's what he strung the garlands, and every day that's what the Lord would wear. That's all he was. So everybody who went to the Pandya Sabha to clear his doubt, they were not able to clear his doubt. So he said, no, that's not what it is. And even greatest scholars went there, and then he was disappointed that nobody could clear his confusion. And finally, somebody said that Vishnu Chittar should go and do that. But Vishnu Chittar was so humble, there's no way I can do this because their great scholars have failed. How I am going to do this? I don't even know the depth of the Vedas. I'm just a simple devotee. But Narayana came in his dream or vision and said, please go, and then I would be with you. You'd be fine. I would speak. So that's exactly what happened. What happened? So he came to Pandya king, and then it was like as if Lord Vishnu himself came and spoke out the truth. So Pandya's doubts got clarified, and that bag of gold, it is said that it just fell down as soon as this happened. So that is an event. So when this happened, the Pandya king was so happy that he celebrated this event by putting Vishnu Chittar, by making him ride on an elephant, putting him on top of an elephant and taking him around in a procession in the city of Madurai. You know, Madurai is not only a stronghold of Shaivism, but the same is true for Vaishnavism also. We have some beautiful Perumal temples there, Kodalalagar Perumal Kovil. Then we also have this Tallakulam Perumal Kovil, and of all most beautifully we have the Alagar Kovil. What these temples are. And then in these temples, you would, as soon as you enter, the Perumal would be so huge, like, oh my God. As soon as you enter the Kodalalagar Perumal Kovil, I've been there so many times. You just see that Perumal standing tall. Ongi Ulagalanda Uttaman Perpadi. That's what comes to your mind. Whereas in Shiva temples, you'll have this little Shivalingam. As soon as you go into the Perumal temples, you see this huge Perumal, astoundingly, and you stand there looking at him, not even wanting to come out. So Madurai is known for all these beautiful Perumal temples as well. So when Vishnu Chittar was being taken in a procession, this is what happened. He was coming in an elephant, and this is exactly what happened. Lord Vishnu appeared in the sky on his Garuda Vahan, and then he broke out in this Pallandu that I just sang, that Tiruppavai song, which is where he blesses Pallandu Pallandu Pallayirattandu Palagodi Nooraayiram. You may be around, please be around for infinite number, no limitless time. Pallandu Pallandu Pallayirattandu Palagodi Nooraayiram. Then he blesses everyone and every aspect of Lord Vishnu. Mallanda Tintol Manivanna, un sevadi sebbittirukkaappu. Our refuge is only your feet. Oh, great Lord Vishnu, Mallanda Tintol Manivanna, your shoulders, powerful shoulders, and you fought, you were the biggest wrestler. You know, all these wrestling things that you see. Mallanda Tintol Manivanna, un sevadi sebbittirukkaappu. Then it says, let us be together for an infinite, limitless time, endless time. With whom? With the devotees. Adiyo modum, and who first is his devotees. Adiyo modum ninnodum. First adiyas. First let us be there for an infinite number of years with the devotees, and then with you also. Adiyo modum ninnodum. How together? Pirivindriyayiram. Without separation. You know, you can be with your beloved, but there's always separation, there's always little tussles, there's always problems. But the one that he is praying to Lord Vishnu is that no such thing. It has to be no separation whatsoever. Pirivindriyayiram Pallandu. Then he blesses each aspect of Lord Vishnu. Vadivai nin malar marbinil vaalgindra mangayum Pallandu. That Sridevi, that who recites so beautifully, so celestially, so auspiciously, Vadivai, Valar Marbanil, on the right side of you, who recites in your right side of your chest, that Sridevi, may she live for infinite number of years. Vadivai in Malar Marbanil Valgindra Mangayim Pallandu. You know, some of you might wonder, why not that Periyalvar is saying on the right side? Because the heart is supposed to be on the left side, right? You know, Ramana Maharshi says your spiritual heart is on the right side, not on the left side. Your physical heart is on the left side, but your spiritual heart is on the right side. Vadivai nil malar marbinil valgindra mangayum pallandu, Vadivar sodi valatturayum sudaraliyum pallandu. The chakra, O Lord Vishnu, that's on your right hand, valatturayum sudaraliyum pallandu. The lightning, the blinding lightning pallandu, that may live forever. Padevol mukkumulangam Panjajanyamum Ballande. That Panjajanya Padaipor Mukkamalangam. That bellows, this thundering war cries. Padaipor Mukkamalangam. Panjajanyamum Ballande. Pandiyan Kondada Pattapiran Mandan Endru. Indiya Sangam Eduthuda. வேண்டிய வேதங்களோதி விரைந்து வெளியறுத்தான் பாதங்கள் யாமுடைய பற்று. The entire history is captured in this pasuram by Pandya Bhattar. He said he didn't chant the entire Vedas. வேண்டிய வேதங்களோதி. And he didn't spend a lot of time. He didn't spend hours and hours in discourses. விரைந்து வெளியறுத்தான். He did it so fast, the king's doubts were cleared. Kili means that porkili, that bag of gold. Kili aruttan. May his feet bless us all. May we get hold of his feet. Pandiyan Kundada Pattarpiran Nandan Hendrin. India Sangam Eduthudam. Vendiya Vedangalodi Viraindi Galiyaruttan. Padangal Yamudaya Patru. So that is Periyalvar. So Srivilliputhur is also known for Periyalvar, and Periyalvar is known because he picked up Andal from the Tulsi garden. And now what is Srivilliputhur is known. This is what is known for. There's a train station there. It's not a great city, big city I mean. It is a small town there. There's a train station, that's how it looks like. And then it's known for this palkova, what they call palkova, which is like a peda, doodh peda, something we call it. So it's called palkova. So that place is very famous for this. So if you ever go to Srivilliputhur, in addition to Andal and Vadapatra Sai, make sure you taste palkova as well. Okay. Thank you all, and we'll catch up. Send me an email or a text message if you have any questions. Then we'll continue with our introduction next week.